Hey everyone, this is Paul McManus, and I'm here today with Shane Walls, President of Advisor Bridge Asset Management. And we were just talking about the returns that people make in the stock market recently versus the incredible returns that they can make in the real estate market. So the question is, how do you get there? Shane, thanks so much for being here.
Well, it's been a long road, but I finally figured out how to get into real estate myself. I've got a client that's in Austin, Texas, and he is the developer and builder. And I was meeting with him one day, and we were talking about how he could get some tax breaks, which is what I specialize in. By using 401k profit sharing plans and cash balance plans, and putting them together, we can have a much larger tax deduction. And so we were looking at all that, and he loved it. And and we started talking about things. He said, "Okay, Shane," he said, I don't want my employees to be in that stock market thing. He said, where they can lose money. He said, that makes no sense to me. And then he said, what I want them to be able to do is put their money into our projects. My employees, my executives, and myself, we want to be able to put our money back into our own projects that we have going on. And he said, can you help us figure that out? Because he said, I've heard that you can do that. I just don't know how. And I'm like, well, I don't either, but I've heard that you can do that too. But I've never had anybody ask me that, So long story short, I figured out, I built some relationships with some people that really know the ins and outs of self-directed 401k, self-directed cash balance plans, and we put everything together. So now, which changed everything because we started talking about returns. He was telling me, he said, we're getting our equity investors 10% plus on return. And I'm like annually? He said, yeah, annually. And he said, that's just normal for what we do. And I'm like, I'm sitting here thinking, well, then my first thought was like, well, I want to put my money into your deals. After I do a little research on you, these guys, you walk into their office and they're on the up and up. They got it really, it's one of the projects where their office is at right now, and they move around a little bit. But they, long story short, we were able to figure out how to self-direct money into IRAs, 401ks, and put them into these types of projects. And it's crazy. I've heard of that. I didn't think as a financial advisor that by setting up a self-directed IRA or something like that, I didn't think there was a way we could even get paid. I didn't know you could do fees through this kind of stuff. And so never really looked into it, but this whole process opened up my eyes. So, and it's my best relationship really I've ever built with a client in regards to growing my business, because now I have a plethora of clients that are getting in on these real estate deals, and I haven't even talked to all my clients yet about the details of it. And I'm going through my book right now, but we're slowly developing where they can put all their assets or some of their assets, not everything, into these projects where you're diversifying your assets, and your returns are a whole lot better. So it's just, and I've got since then I've got another friend of mine that's been he's been in the hotel, and every one of these, first of all, these clients, these types of guys that have been in the business 25 plus years in their own niche, meaning these guys do condos and apartments. The other contact I have in Dallas does hotels only. So they know their markets better than anybody else. And these are the kind of guys that they don't lose money on deals. They've got their own money in their deals. They've got their names on the bank loans for the deals. So when you're talking about a project that costs $20 million, the bank's going to loan you about $15 million, but it's got to be under a name that has some net worth to it. So these guys not only have their names on the loans, they've got their personal assets in it. And so then they need, then they have their equity investors, and that's where I come in. So we built a really strong relationship where I'm able to help them, with equity investors, so they don't have to have a person in their office looking for equity investors, even though they've got a bunch of them that they've had for years. But they got so many different projects going, they're at all times needing new equity investors. So they're allowing me to come in and fill some of that space in with my clients and with my personal money. So me and my wife pulled our money out of our mutual funds, and we put our own money into several different projects that they have going on.
It sounds like you're building a big, happy family of people, right?
Yeah, it is. The great thing about it is all my clients they're all my clients. So my clients are meeting these clients out of the builders, developers. and it's awesome. I mean, it's a great feeling because you got something nobody else really has. And I've done the due diligence on these guys as well as the other guys I've known for years that do the hotels. And when you got guys that have had that much experience, they're not used to losing money on any deals that they do because they got their own money tied up in it. And I've always wanted to get in real estate myself, and this was a great opportunity for not just me, but anyone and any clients I have that I haven't talked to yet, going to be very interested. I just know because the returns we're getting on the mutual fund, especially the last couple of years, has been super flat. And your returns over the years, if you're in a straight equities fund, may get 7% on average. I'm not saying some years it don't get 20, but that's not every year because you got to deal with the down years. With this, in real estate, if you're with the right people, even in down years, they make money. That's what I learned, and it blows me away. They've showed me their projects back in 2008, 2009, and I'm like, this is not even, there's no comparison to me. I mean, is there risk involved in real estate? For sure. But I'm like, if you've got the kind of relationships that I built with these guys that know their niche markets, then to me, it's not near as risky as putting your money in mutual funds. So, and I know a lot of people are looking for ways to invest in real estate, but just like me, don't have the time and don't want to do their own deals because we don't know where to start. You just don't. I mean, it's just normal. So this is passive income. And it's returns that are unbelievable, on an annual average. You do tie your money up longer. It's not liquid in these projects. So you're looking at 1 to 5 years turnaround on some of these projects, really probably closer to 2 to 3 on average. But that's kind of how it works, in detail on getting involved.
And these projects are all here in Texas. So your clients not only are invested, but they can go and visit the projects.
Yeah. And I'm trying to keep it, localized. So when somebody from Houston wants to invest in a project and it's in Austin, they really want to see it. So, they can drive over or we can drive up. So it's just, I've driven just 2 weeks ago. I drove a couple of clients of mine up to Austin. We went and met with the owners. We went and looked at the land we're buying, and then we looked at some of the other projects. And it's like, it just solidifies everything. And it's a relationship building thing. And it's just, it's awesome. I mean, I've had a lot of fun with it. And it's so different than, you don't have the headache of people calling you all the time saying, hey, Shane, my portfolio is not doing so well. And I'm like, well, no one's is right now. So that's how the market's going. But, I don't like those calls. They don't like the call. And it's like, this is different. And I think it's really it's just taken off, and my business has grown and the relationships have grown. So it's great.
This is fantastic. So Shane, for someone that wants to figure out what those next steps are for getting involved in real estate through the context that you have, what is the next step for them to do?
They can really just go to my website. So it's www.advisorbridgeinfo.com. Just go there and you've got my phone number, and you can opt in your email, but that's the easiest way to get in touch with me. And that's it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right,
take care.
Bye.